Welcome to our channel. Today we delve into the dark and disturbing world of military and war horror stories. Viewer discretion is advised. These are not just stories, they are windows into the abyss of human suffering and the enduring grip of fear. Prepare yourself. Imagine a steel behemoth slicing through the turbulent waves of the Pacific Ocean. This is the USS Hornet, a World War II aircraft carrier, forever scarred by the horrors of war, forever home to the restless souls lost in its service. Our story takes us deep into the bowels of this mighty ship, a labyrinth of steel corridors and dimly lit compartments, where whispers of the past mingle with the hum of machinery. Crew members tell chilling tales of encounters with spectral figures, their forms shimmering like heat haze, their eyes burning with a cold, ethereal light. Some claim to have heard the ghostly clatter of mess kits, the phantom roar of aircraft engines long since silenced. One account speaks of a sailor, his face pale and drawn, his uniform soaked through, not with sea water but with a strange viscous substance. He speaks of a raging fire, of being trapped below deck, his voice a tortured rasp before vanishing into thin air. Another tale tells of a group of mechanics working late one night, their tools scattered across the cold steel floor. Suddenly the temperature plummets, a bone-chilling cold that seeps into their very bones. As they turn, they see him, a shadowy figure, his face obscured by darkness, his hand outstretched, pointing towards a section of the ship's hull riddled with bullet holes, a silent reminder of a battle fought long ago. But it's not just the apparitions that unsettle the crew. There are cold spots, areas of the ship where the temperature drops dramatically, sending shivers down the spines of even the bravest men. Doors slam shut without reason, their metal frames groaning in protest. Footsteps echo through the deserted corridors, heavy and deliberate, as if an unseen entity is pacing the decks, its presence felt but never truly seen. Some dismiss these stories as mere hallucinations, the product of exhaustion, stress, the ever-present fear that clung to them like a shroud. But others, those who have seen with their own eyes, felt the icy breath of the supernatural on their skin, know the truth. The USS Hornet, a vessel of war, is also a vessel of spirits, their souls tethered to the steel coffin that became their final resting place. And as the years pass, the stories continue. The USS Hornet, now a museum ship docked peacefully in Alameda, California, still draws visitors from all over the world. Some come to marvel at its history, its role in shaping the course of human events. But others, they come seeking something more. They come to listen to the whispers of the past, to feel the icy touch of the unseen, to catch a glimpse of the spectral sailors who roam the decks, forever bound to the ship that carried them to their doom. For on the USS Hornet, the line between this world and the next is blurred, and the ghosts of war still linger. From the spectral decks of the USS Hornet, we shift our focus to the jungles of Vietnam, a battleground where the horrors of war were amplified by the suffocating heat, the constant threat of unseen enemies, and the brutal reality of guerrilla warfare. March 16th, 1968. Dawn breaks over the village of My Lai, casting an eerie glow on the rice paddies and thatched huts. For the inhabitants of this peaceful hamlet, it promised to be another day of simple routines, of tending to their crops, of shared meals, of laughter echoing through the humid air. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. On the horizon, a different kind of dawn was breaking, a crimson stain spreading across the sky as US Army helicopters descended upon My Lai, their rotors churning the air into a frenzy, their shadows swallowing the village whole. These were not liberators, not the bearers of hope that propaganda had promised. They were harbingers of death, their arrival heralding a storm of unimaginable brutality. The soldiers, young, weary, and fueled by a potent cocktail of fear and misinformation, had been told that My Lai harbored a Viet Cong battalion, that the villagers were enemy sympathizers. The truth, a truth that would surface much later, painted a far different picture, a picture of innocent farmers, women tending to their children, elderly villagers seeking solace in the shade. What unfolded over the next few hours was a scene ripped straight from the depths of hell. Houses were razed, livestock slaughtered, and unarmed civilians, their pleas for mercy drowned out by the deafening roar of gunfire, were cut down with ruthless efficiency. The air, thick with the stench of cordite and the coppery tang of blood, bore witness to unspeakable acts of cruelty. Mothers, their bodies shielding their children, were gunned down in cold blood. Elderly men, their faces etched with confusion and terror, were executed where they stood. Young girls, their innocence ripped away in a heartbeat, were subjected to unspeakable horrors. The village, once a symphony of life, was transformed into a graveyard, its silence broken only by the sobs of the dying and the distant chatter of military radios. But the true horror of My Lai, the horror that transcended the physical carnage, lay in the psychological scars it left on both the victims and the perpetrators. For the survivors, the memories of that day, the images seared into their minds, became a prison, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the depths of human depravity. The soldiers, those who had carried out the orders, those who had stood by and watched, would forever bear the weight of their actions. Some, consumed by guilt and remorse, would spend their days seeking atonement, their nights haunted by the faces of the dead. Others, their minds fractured by the horrors they had witnessed and participated in, would retreat into themselves, their silence a testament to the enduring power of trauma. The My Lai Massacre, a dark chapter in American military history, serves as a chilling reminder of the human capacity for both unimaginable cruelty and extraordinary resilience. It is a story that demands to be told, not to glorify the violence, but to honor the victims, to acknowledge the enduring legacy of trauma, and to serve as a stark warning against the dehumanizing effects of war. From the sweltering jungles of Vietnam, we journey now to the frozen wastelands of the Ural Mountains in Russia. Here, amidst the towering peaks and unforgiving blizzards, lies a desolate pass, its name forever etched in the annals of unexplained mysteries, the Dyatlov Pass. It's February 1959. A group of 9 experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, set out on a skiing expedition into the heart of the Ural Mountains. The group consisted of young men and women, all students or graduates of the Ural Polytechnical Institute. Their goal, to reach Mount Otorten, a peak shrouded in local legend and folklore, its name translating ominously to "Don't go there" in the language of the indigenous Mansi people. Little did they know that their journey would lead them down a path of unimaginable horror, their fate destined to become one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. Days turn into weeks, and the hikers' families, their concern growing with each passing hour, receive no word from their loved ones. The authorities assemble a search and rescue team, their hopes of finding the hikers alive dwindling with each passing blizzard. The search party stumbles upon a sight that sends chills down their spines. The hikers' abandoned tent, its fabric slashed open from the inside. Scattered around the campsite lie the hikers' belongings, backpacks, boots, and articles of clothing, suggesting a hasty and panicked departure. But where were the hikers? What had compelled them to flee their shelter, inadequately dressed for the sub-zero temperatures and the raging blizzard? The search continues, each discovery adding another layer of mystery. The bodies, some partially clothed, others bearing strange injuries, are found scattered across the mountainside. Some are found barefoot, their feet bearing no signs of frostbite. Others bear horrific internal injuries, their bones crushed, their skulls fractured, yet their clothing remains largely intact. Theories abound, each more outlandish than the last. Some whisper of secret military experiments gone awry, of strange, otherworldly creatures lurking in the desolate peaks. Others point to the possibility of an avalanche, a sudden and catastrophic release of snow and ice. But none of these explanations fully account for the bizarre details and the inexplicable injuries. The hikers' diaries recovered from the scene offer tantalizing glimpses into their final days, hinting at growing unease and strange lights in the sky. But the entries end abruptly, leaving the true nature of the terror that befell them shrouded in mystery. The Dyatlov Pass incident, a chilling tale of adventure turned nightmare, continues to fascinate and terrify in equal measure. It stands as a stark reminder of the raw, untamed power of nature and the mysteries that lie hidden beneath the surface of our understanding. Did the hikers stumble upon something sinister, something beyond human comprehension? Or were they merely victims of a tragic, if bizarre, accident? The answers, lost to the howling winds and the relentless march of time, remain elusive, leaving us to ponder the fate of the 9 souls forever bound to the frozen wasteland of the Dyatlov Pass. Thank you for watching. If you found these stories as chilling as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more unsettling tales. Stay safe and see you in the next video. Until next time, remember to keep your eyes open and your mind sharp, for you never know what lurks in the shadows or what whispers on the wind.